can't breathe. I seriously can't breathe. Woo! Summer, y'all. It's freaking hot. Hey everyone, it is another day, another week, Halloween decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. It is another freaking hot day, and I mean seriously freaking hot. It is 99 degrees right now, so I don't know how long my camera is gonna last without overheating. And it's another day with freaking allergies. It's just a mess of a day. We're just a mess. I don't know why I wore my hair down. It was a poor choice, but here we are. We made that choice and we're living with it. And we're doing some Halloween hunting today. So today, we're going to good old Cracker Barrel. I heard they've got their Halloween out. We'll see. My area apparently does not even know that Halloween exists. They've never heard of Halloween in their entire freaking spooky lives. I don't know what it is about my area this year, y'all, but we are not seeing any Halloween yet. We saw some Halloween, like a sliver of Halloween at Costco. We saw the little Disney things. And then if we don't see a lot or we don't see anything at all, then we're going to continue our hunt tomorrow. I think there's some stuff out on at Joann's. Not on Joann. Poor Joann. At Joann's. Some things. So we're going to go out tomorrow and scope that out. And we're going to go back to at Gnome and see if they have anything out. I'm hoping this week is the week. We're getting to the end of June. This is normally the week when At Home starts getting stuff out. But last year, I believe my At Home didn't get stuff out until after 4th of July. Also, something totally random, not Halloween related, but something that I have to mention because a lot of us out there, we love our grayish lipstick, especially the liquid lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills, the shade Grim, that they discontinued, which broke my soul into a million pieces. I have yet to find the perfect dupe until now. This Sephora, I'm wearing it today, Sephora brand cream lip stain in the shade Pretty Beige. It should be called Pretty Grayish because it's the perfect grayish. It's so close to Grim. And I'm obsessed. I'm gonna go home and order 3,000 more of these. I will link it in the description and in the little, the little YouTube shop thing. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean? The little like YouTube shop picture thing at the bottom. Whatever. Shopping bag, that thing. Anyways, back to Halloween, Mr. Skeleton. Poor guy is melting in this heat because I just left my mom's house. I did her hair and he's like out here. His plastic is probably melting to the seat. Not really, but it's freaking hot. But I have to tell you something funny. So my mom, I was inside getting my stuff packed up and my mom was letting her dog out and went to go get the trash. And she said she walked in front of my car and thought there was a person in my car and she screamed. And then she's like, I felt like an idiot. I knew it was Mr. Skeleton, but still somehow I screamed. I'm like, that's the perfect reaction. This is the kind of reaction we're looking for when it comes to good old Mr. Skeleton. What is going on? She's like, I hope the neighbors aren't worried. And I just laughed at the thought of seeing Mr. Skeleton and screaming when you walk. I wonder how many people have actually been scared of good old Mr. Skeleton when they see him. Anyways, I don't want my camera to overheat, so I'll see ya at Cracker Barrel. All right, we're here at the Cracker Barrel. We're going in. Okay, first of all, it is freaking hot. And I just had to manhandle a car seat and get it out of the way. Let me turn this down. To fold the seats back to fit in this Halloween box. So here's the deal. There was no Halloween display. Nothing was out yet. They said tomorrow. So we're going to go back either tomorrow or Wednesday and look at the full display. Anyways, they didn't have the full display out, but they did have it in back. And they asked me if I was looking for anything specifically, which is like the most dangerous thing to ask me because then I'm going to think of something that I want. I feel like, no, I really wanted, if you watched my last, I think it was my spooky time vlog, when I showed you the blow molds that I got from Cracker Barrel, there was one blow mold I really, really, really wanted, and I didn't get it, and I regretted it. And it was the stacked skulls with the crow on top. It's a great all year round piece. I don't know what I was thinking not getting it. So they had it in back, so I didn't actually get that. And I'll show you, I gotta do a haul. I'm not gonna show you what's in here yet, unless it says on the box. It doesn't. I'm not gonna show you what's in there yet. I'll show you in a haul. We'll have to do a Halloween haul. Anyways, we did get some candy, because you know we had to get some freaking candy. I got these sour and juicy lemonade rings. So you know we had to do a little taste test, because it wouldn't be a Halloween video without candy. Trick or treat, y'all. So here we go. This one is, I'm assuming, like a raspberry lemonade. Oh, these were good. The texture of these. 10 out of 10. Texture is amazing. Taste is amazing. I freaking love these. I'm going to inhale these. I think there's one more flavor, the pink lemonade. I love fresh candy that's not stale. These are so freaking good. Sour and juicy lemonade rings. I'm pretty sure these are seasonal, so get them while you can. Pink lemonade's my favorite. So you know I had to get something weird. Naturally. Because that's who we are around here, right, Mr. Skeleton? So I got this Jelly Belly Chews taffy candy in buttered popcorn. I'm not that excited about this. Not anticipating the taste of this, but I thought we'd try something weird while we're here. Let me cleanse my palate. I don't think those lemonade candies are leaving my teeth in the next century, so... Oh, this is real soft. This taffy? Oh. It maybe melted a little bit. No big deal. Ugh, it smells like freaking popcorn. This is one Dallas is gonna eat. Oh, it's not my favorite. I also got the watermelon. It's like a Kelly green. Look at this. It smells delicious though. It tastes like watermelon bubblegum. As much as I'm so excited that I got what I was looking for at Cracker Barrel, I'm also slightly sad that we still haven't seen Halloween, like a display. It's 108. 108. I always feel like we go to Cracker Barrel on the hottest days too. I feel like every year, I mean, I know I always complain about the heat, but I feel like we always go to Cracker Barrel on the hottest days. Like I always remember it scorching as I'm going into Cracker Barrel. Like I'm sizzling to death. So anyways, I'm headed home now and I'll see ya when I see ya. Hey everyone, it is another day Halloween decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. We're cruising today. Today is a big cruising day. We are having a full-blown Halloween decor hunting extravaganza today. We're cruising to Joann's. We're cruising back to Cracker Barrel, even though we were just there yesterday. Actually, we'll probably go to At Home first. Then we'll go to Cracker Barrel last because they said at the end of the day today to go check. And I guess we could wait until tomorrow to go to Cracker Barrel, but why wait, y'all? Why wait? We've barely seen any Halloween. Like, no Halloween to be found out. Like, no displays. We haven't seen one single individual Halloween display out there. So, we're going today. And if we don't see it, we'll keep checking. Then tomorrow, I wanted to stop by Bath & Body Works because I'm going to be near or around Bath & Body Works. Dallas and I are going to be out and about. And I think we'll go to Bath & Body Works. It's not their Halloween yet, although their Halloween will be coming out soon. Because usually it's after 4th of July for their Halloween stuff. But their pumpkin stuff usually comes out before. So Hoping to smell some pumpkin goodness. It's another partly cloudy day in 2024 paradise. Another freaking hot day. It's supposed to be 98 degrees today. So I'm sure we'll be seeing Moaning Myrtle, Miserable Marie, whatever we call her. We're going to be seeing her today because it's freaking hot. And of course, I decided to wear my hair down. But I really need to freaking do my hair. And because my roots, if you can't tell, and my toner's wearing off. And every single year around this time, y'all, I get this itch. Especially when my toner starts wearing off, I get this itch to go back orange. Only thing, and I mentioned this last year, the only thing that keeps me from going orange, the freaking wasps that chase me when I have bright colored hair. Every single year that I have bright colored hair, those dang wasps chase me. And then I end up in some random parking lot running for my life. And I'm sure everyone who's driving by thinks I'm just running from some imaginary thing because they can't see the little tiny wasp chasing me. But they love the orange hair. And so do bees, which I don't really mind the bees as much. It's the freaking wasps, y'all. I guess I could just wear like a shower cap when I'm walking to my car. Or I could just carry a bag that looks like, you know those wasps' nests? You know, if you haven't seen them, you hang them in the trees. It looks like a fake wasp nest. And then it's supposed to scare away the wasps. I could make a purse out of one. Just carry it around so the wasps don't mess with me. They're like, oh, she's already got a wasp nest with her. We don't need to bother her. I don't know. All right, so naturally, it's so freaking hot that my camera overheated. But we're here at Joann's with good old Mr. Skeleton. Finally. It was the rain that brought in the Halloween spirit, y'all. Because it started pouring when I was in there. What am I looking for? We saw the spooky goods. It wasn't fully stocked. They were just getting started. But actually, I prefer it that way because there was a lot to see. And to remember all of it, if everything was out, would be really difficult. First and foremost, we ran into spooky family at Joann. So far this year, we're running into some spooky family. I'm all excited. Ran into Sierra. Sierra, if you're watching, it was so nice to meet you and talking with you and all the things. Sierra was over there looking at the spooky mugs. And I saw some of those too. So I guess we'll start there. Where spooky family collides at the spooky mugs. So they had some spooky mugs that said some various things. They said, what did they say? All sorts of stuff. Pick your poison, something about Scream. Not cookies and Scream, but something like that. Like, I like my coffee with Scream, with something and Scream. I can't remember what it said. And one that said I'm spooky all year round. That was really cute. And other various spooky sayings. They all looked kind of similar, just different colors and different sayings. And then they had a couple of witchy mugs. One said, I think it said, you say witch like it's a bad thing or something like that. One was kind of like a periwinkle color, and one was black with more of a celestial look, about something about the moon. And then they had an apothecary sign above all the mugs. And then they had some really cute ceramic figurines. Like, one had a jack-o'-lantern with a scaredy cat on top. One was the cutest little bat I've ever seen. He was so cute. And then a little owl. And they had just a plain jack-o'-lantern. They had, what were some of the other ones in this area? I just really, that bat was so freaking cute. The only thing I will say about a lot of the light up stuff, because all these little ceramic pieces lit up, a lot of the light up stuff at Joann's, the one thing I wish they wouldn't do so much, almost all their light up stuff lights up multicolors, like they blink different colors and or fade into different colors. I don't love that. Like, I think it's okay for a couple of items, but I feel like more of their items light up different colors than they do just a yellow light. And I prefer just a solid yellow light, like a good old fashioned, like I just feel like it makes it more timeless. They also had some really cute dishware stuff. So they had a couple of dishes, like a little pumpkin, and was the other one a cat, a black cat, just little plates. They had a couple of cute little dishes. They also had some bowls. They had one bowl that was a ghost, and like it was like, I feel like we've seen this one at Joann's before, but it's really cute every year. They had another smaller bowl that had ghosties around it. Actually, they had two. They had a smaller bowl with ghosties around it and a bigger bowl with ghosties around it. They also had, I think one had a black cat and a jack-o'-lantern or pumpkin, or maybe it was just an orange bowl with a black cat. They also had a spooky house cookie jar, just like a big spooky house where the top comes off and it's a cookie jar. And then they had some dish towels, lots of different spooky dish towels. They had classic orange and black jack-o'-lanterns. One had jack-o'-lanterns with spider webs in the background. The other one was an orange towel with stacked jack-o'-lanterns on it. They also had another one that was black with just jack-o'-lanterns all over it. Oh wait, I think they had a pumpkin with a cat on top on one of the towels, like an embroidered towel. And then they had a couple of witchy towels that were more in the purple and black, like kind of their witchy line color scheme. And then what else did they have? They had a ghosty towel where there was like a ghosty holding a pumpkin. They had a bat towel that was really cute. It was like gray and black. They also had a skeleton towel with good old Mr. Skeleton on it with, I think it had a spider web background. And then they also had a skeleton, like a skull, and any other towels I'm missing I'll show here, but they had a lot of really cute Halloween towels. Okay, where do we travel to next? Pillows. They had a couple of pillows. They had a jack-o'-lantern pillow, and I don't remember what that stuff is called on the front, like where it's kind of like fuzzy, not fuzzy, it's like a rug feeling on the front. Anyways, they had a jack-o'-lantern, they had a really cute bat, and what was the other one? I think just black and orange stripes. Oh wait, I forgot the rug. They also had a rug with skeletons all over it. A black and white rug. They had some wall decor. They had something that had like a witch hat on it and said something about Hocus Pocus, I think. Just a bunch of Hocus Pocus or something like that. They had one that had a bat and a skull, like a big wall decor piece with a bat and a skull. They had one with a toad on it, I think. That said something about a toad. They had a metal spider web wall decor piece, some skull wall decor pieces. They also had a skeleton wall decor situation. They also had a big coffin with a spider web background and different spiders in there. That was really cute. It was like a shelf. And then they had another wall decor piece that said spooky and it had bats all over it. That was really pretty. It lit up. It was awesome. And then they had another one. They had one that was just a picture with a skull. And then one that was a picture with like a bird skull, I think. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. But they had a bunch of different wall decor here. Anything I'm missing, I'll continue to show because I'm sure I'm missing something. There was a lot to see in this little area. What else do they have? Oh, they had some ornaments in this area. They had orange and black ornaments with jack-o'-lanterns. They also had bigger ornaments, smaller ornaments, black and silver, purple, like they had different sets. Also, really loved these candles. They look like these melting LED candles. They look like they're melting over books. I loved these. I've seen them on the Facebook group. They look so good in the flesh, like all decorated and stuff. What else they have? I feel like there were other things in this area that I'm missing that I'm going to kick myself for because I'm probably going to want to talk about them. Oh, they also had some skulls in this area. Black skulls. They have a silver skull. Or was it just natural looking? I can't remember. I think they had a silver one though. And then they had one that had intricate designs on it. They had one that was smoking a cigar, wearing sunglasses, and I think headphones or something along those lines. Or maybe I'm just making up too much. Whatever this skull was, he was doing a lot. I'll put that out there. They had skulls. There was like a skull on books that lit up. A skull sewing machine, which seems random, but not for Joann. I feel like it's the perfect fit for Joann. So they had a sewing machine. They had two different ones. One was more, it looked like a classic tabletop decor piece, something a little fancier. Then the other one was in the skull, like the plastic skeleton and skull section. And it was like more of a plastic looking sewing machine skull situation. They also had a skull with a bat on top, and the bat looked so freaking cool, but the skull lit up multicolors once again, and I'm like, no, this is kind of a cool gothic looking piece with the bat, and I loved how the bat looked, and then it freaking lit up multicolors. It ruined it for me. What else did we see? There was a spooky house, a black spooky house with a little jack-o'-lantern, a little ghosty. They had a big raven that was kind of an animatronic looking guy that cawed. They had some jack-o'-lanterns. They had those really cute jack-o'-lanterns they had last year. And then they also had a black felt one with like an iridescent looking, like cut out where the eyes are and the mouth is. They had some other pumpkins, orange glittery pumpkins, black glittery pumpkins. I feel like we see those every year. And they also had, what else do they have in there? Oh, ceramic pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern actually. Ceramic jack-o'-lantern is white with black stripes. That's another one I feel like we see every year. The white with black striped jack-o'-lantern. Also had some witchy boots, some classic witchy boots. That's another thing I feel like they have every year. They have some witchy boots. What else do they have? They had so much tabletop decor in this area. They had some bats, witchy things, all sorts of stuff mixed in. And then of course jack-o'-lanterns, all that kind of stuff. Forgot about these little wind things. The wind blows and it goes in a circle, and it's like a stake that you put in your yard. One that had witches flying on brooms and then a crescent moon in the middle. I have one I really liked that had ghosties that kind of go around and around when the wind blows. And then there's a spooky house in the center. They also had one, was it witch boots, I think, that went around in a circle. Then they had some bigger items, like a big skull planter. They had like a two-headed dog animatronic guy. I'll play the animatronic here. And then they also had a huge jack-o'-lantern. We see a good old huge jack-o'-lantern every year. They had a couple of big jack-o'-lanterns. One had like a whole animatronic thing that I'll play here. And then they had a ghosty animatronic guy that lit up, or his eyes lit up. They had a tombstone animatronic. Was there another animatronic, or just like a big trick-or-treat sign or something like that? They had some stacked jack-o'-lanterns that lit up. And what else did they have? They had, a huge skeleton. The big skeleton was back this year. Can't remember how tall it was. It'll say on the box, so you'll see that. I showed the box, and they actually had one set up in store wearing an apron. Speaking of skeletons, they had a bunch of skeleton stuff. Not all of it was out, but they still had a really good selection. They had a big green alien skeleton. They had a pumpkin head guy, an orange pumpkin head guy skeleton that was actually like an animatronic. So I think his head lit up. And then they also had a skeleton that jabbed his jaws, y'all. He was a jaw-jabbing skeleton. I'll show him here.
I've been dying to see you.
They also had a neon pink and neon green skeleton this year. They also had all the skeleton, like the boneyard area with all the skeleton animals. Like they had a skeleton rooster. They had skulls. They had a skeleton goat, like a little baby skeleton goat. He was so cute. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that one. And then a skeleton, was it a goat head too that they had? They had skeleton dogs. They had skeleton dragons. They had skeleton, all sorts of skeleton. We see these every year, like the full skeleton boneyard situation. So I'll show everything I saw in this boneyard. Oh, they also had a bunch of skeleton tabletop decor. We see this once again every year. Skeletons doing various things. Usually sitting on the toilet. They had another one this year sitting on the toilet with his laptop. They had a skeleton in a bathtub. They had a skeleton. It almost looked like it could be a wedding cake topper. It was really cute, like a little bride and groom. They had a skeleton on a couch, just lounging on a couch. They had a skeleton. I don't even know what all these skeletons. Oh, a skeleton playing a guitar, sitting on a toadstool. Like, these skeletons were doing the most, y'all. They're exhausted. The skeletons at Joann's are tired. But regardless, they had so many different skeleton things. Skeletons and cars, I think. Skeletons just skeletoning. All the skeletons. I don't know. They had so many tabletop decor, like resin tabletop decor pieces, that there's no way I can remember them all. All right, we're here at home. It is so freaking humid. All right, everyone, we found another store with spooky goods. At Home came through. They didn't have a whole lot out, but they had enough out that I was excited to see it. Like, they did not disappoint in their display. I'm going to put that out there. So, by the way, I got this blow mold. I'll be doing a haul, don't you fret. But I've got a blow mold addiction this year. I don't know what it is about blow molds this year, but for me, it's the year of the blow mold. But I got some other things, not from At Home, because they're still putting stuff out. So we're going to keep checking. In the meantime, this guy's riding up front with good old Mr. Skeleton. This turned out to be such a good day. I'm glad we did this. I will say this, though. We're not going to Cracker Barrel because, not today. I'm probably going to go tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. Because I just ran into some ladies in here, and they asked me where I got my blow mold, and I was pointing to the direction, and they said they had just come from Cracker Barrel, and they had some, like, a couple things out, but they were still getting stuff out. So it wasn't even, like, there was no display, you know, the display wasn't displaying yet. Oh God, my water just spilled everywhere. So the display wasn't in all of its glory yet. So we're going to stop by tomorrow, maybe afternoon tomorrow, and see what they got. Anyways, I'm glad they let me know that, because we're not going to go now. We'll go tomorrow, because I'm so excited that I can't even speak. Let's talk about what we saw. When I walked in, they had this full-blown display that's this whole cemetery look. They're going for this Southern Gothic cemetery vibe, is what the worker was telling me. I think the line is called Southern Gothic, but they had this huge Grim Reaper. I think it was 6 feet tall. Awesome looking. They also had this beautiful angel. Looks like a tombstone. It's this gorgeous detailed angel. Looks like she's crying, and then she's holding a wreath. Really gorgeous. They had 2 of those, and the worker told me they're getting a 6-foot one, which is really cool. But those were beautiful. They also had a skeleton guy. I think he had a top hat on. He was holding a sign. I think it said welcome on it. They also had the ravens. The raven pedestals holding the lantern that we saw last year. Those are some of my favorite pieces last year. And again, this year, I'm going to say that. Actually, my favorite Halloween piece of all time, probably, because it's so perfect for all year round dark decor. It's worth the money because you can leave it out all year round, in my opinion. I think they're $119, but totally worth it, in my opinion, to keep it out all year round, because they're not specifically Halloween, you know? That's exactly the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I love a good, like, I will splurge on a dark decor piece that I can use all year round, or plan to use all year round. They also had this large veiled lady pedestal with this moss on it, and I didn't know how I'd feel about the moss, but actually in person the moss looks beautiful. I feel like it could work with even like a mossy witchy vibe. They also had a gorgeous candelabra, super intricate with skulls on it. That was really pretty and really big. Like, every piece in this area was really big. They also had some candles, like some, not stacked, they were just kind of lined up or clustered, like clustered, big cluster of candles. They were a beige color. And then they had, what else they have in this area? They had some plants, some black plants back this year. They had some succulents. And then they also had this little tree sprig guy. It was just like a little small sprig of something. But they were all black. They had some of the wraithy looking stuff. Like, they weren't as big as the Cracker Barrel wraith. So if you're wanting to know, if you haven't seen either in person and you're wanting to know whether or not to get the Cracker Barrel wraith or this wraith at home, I would say go for the Cracker Barrel one because it is larger. This one is much smaller. I feel like they've had these the last couple of years. They also had a stack of skulls. I think the eyes lit up. I want to say the eyes lit up, but I don't remember. And they had a tombstone that said RIP with skulls and a little raven. That was also in the cemetery little area. They had a sign that said home sweet haunted home, or sweet haunted home, or something like that. They had a little skeleton bust guy that was wearing a top hat. Oh, what was it? It was like a glass coffin shelf display thing. And this one was all glass. I feel like this one's definitely more for all year round, like an all year round darker decor. I feel like At Home is getting really good at this. They're putting out lines that are perfect for us all year round dark decor people, gothic decor, alternative decor, whatever kind of dark realm you're in. At Home is getting so good at putting out pieces for us all year round spooky decorators. But they had, what else they have? They had, dang it, they had like a little cloche that had a skull in it and some mossy situations, and maybe some pink in there, I think. And then they had a pumpkin with a little silver stem. It was like a plushy pumpkin. They had a couple of black metal houses. One was bigger, one was smaller. It kind of reminds me of some of the houses we've seen at Target around the holidays. Or no, they have them during Halloween too. But they're just black metal houses. And they had a water globe that had a really pretty silver base that was really intricate. And that was, I can't remember what, it was the Spellbound collection. So they're going to have Spellbound back this year. Oh, they had this kind of wall hook decor thing. It was like a board with some skeleton hands coming out. I think it was like a wall hook. And they had this blow mold, this ghosty blow mold with the jack-o'-lantern. That's the only cutesy in your face Halloween thing I saw. But there are a couple of things I have my eye on that I didn't see there. So we're going to have to go back. Hey everyone, it is another day. Halloween decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. Just kidding. It's Dallas. He's a skeleton with skin on, at least. No offense to good old Mr. Skeleton. We love a skinless wonder. But we've got Dallas here today because I'm sitting in good old Mr. Skeleton's spot. And we were out running errands, so we thought we would cruise by Bath and Body Works and see if they have any of their fall stuff out, because we're right by it. We're gonna run here, and then I figured we'd stop by really quickly and see if they had any Halloween out at Cracker Barrel. It might not be quickly. Who are we kidding? We're looking for a freaking full Halloween display. All right, so first stop is Bath and Body Works. I'll see you there. I'm hoping to smell some spice, some pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I'm ready for our Halloween. It won't be long.
Just left Bath and Body Works. They were just starting to put their fall out, so I did get a couple of clips. So they had a couple of things. Not a whole lot out. They were just like, they had the whole display going, but it was kind of empty. They had pumpkin pecan waffles out for candles, and it smelled so good. I was so happy to smell it. They had two different styles of candles, like different packaging. They had soaps. They had the gel soap and the foaming soap. They also had this cherry almond shortbread soap. I don't know if they're getting it in a candle, but it smelled so good. I love a good cherry almond situation. I believe that one is new this year. I love it. So they also had raspberry mimosa, I think was the other one, the candle. It smelled really good. And freshly brewed coffee. And then I want to say, did they have a couple other soaps? I can't remember what the other soaps were, if they had them, but there wasn't a huge selection, but at least they're starting, and we saw some. And the workers in there were saying to keep our eyes out for Halloween because it's coming quick. So I'm ready. I know you're ready. We're all ready. Anyways, that was Bath and Body Works. Next stop is Cracker Barrel. I don't know. My brain just disappeared. We're going to Cracker Barrel. That's our next stop. So I'll see ya there. All right, we're here. Same Cracker Barrel, different day. Probably. Yeah. We're leaving Cracker Barrel. They had the full display, the full-blown Halloween extravaganza going on. They had everything. I saw every blow mold except for the skull one we got. And we saw Spooky Family again today. We've had the most luck with Spooky Family this year. I'm so excited. We ran into Angela the Gemini, which I should have told her. I forgot to tell her happy birthday. It was just Gemini season. I should have told her happy birthday. Angela, if you're watching, I hope you had a good birthday. I hope you found some spooky goods at Cracker Barrel because they had the goods. I don't even know where to start. They had a full display. They had the whole tree in the center that had the skull topper with the bats. The bats go around the tree, which is just glorious and spooky. And they had all sorts of ornaments on the tree, skeletons and ghost dogs and all sorts of stuff. Did you see the ghost dog?
I saw the ghost dog, yeah.
Yeah, he's cute. And they also had a bunch of salt and pepper shakers for 99 cents that you could use for a little decor. If you didn't want to use them for salt and pepper shakers, they had little jack-o'-lantern ones. They had, what else? Little candy corns, was there a mummy dog or cat? Mummy cat?
I think so, yeah.
They had...
It's like a witch cat, too, I think.
A witch cat?
Maybe.
I don't know if I got that one. They had another salt and pepper shaker that was it the bride and groom Frankenstein, or they were driving a car or something, kind of Frankenstein situation or vampire situation. They had bats dangling, some hanging bats that were salt and pepper shakers, and one that I hadn't seen before, this Dracula in his coffin. And the Dracula is salt or pepper or whichever one. And then the coffin is the other one. But it was really cute. Very vintage looking. And then they had all the goods. They had the huge witch that I may or may not have snagged the other day. The big witch. They had the little witch with the lantern. Both of them had lanterns. They also had the smaller wraiths, the black wraith and the white wraith with the lanterns. And they had the huge wraith. And I had never seen the huge wraith in person. That ghoul is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Huge. So cool looking. Loved it. They also had the witch blow mold that I ordered online, and the jack-o'-lantern, like the stacked jack-o'-lantern blow mold. They had both of those at the store. I was shocked to see it because I know people are lining up to get, especially that witch, I feel like is popular this year.
Popular,
yeah. And so they had one of those, the skull blow mold, like a big skull blow mold that changes colors. They had, oh my gosh, what else did they have? There's so much stuff. They had like a green glittery poison bottle. They also had a green glittery poison bottle soap situation. They had a cauldron candle, like a bubbly cauldron looking candle that was in a ceramic cauldron. And then they also had a cauldron mug that said 100% that witch. What else? They had, so every year they have this ghost that has like the swirly stuff inside. This year they had a cat that had the swirly stuff inside. And they had a TV that had a bunch of glitter on the inside and witches over a cauldron on the inside.
I actually like that one.
Dallas really likes that one. They had a couple of animatronic things. They had this bell, like the skeleton hand that would ring the bell. What?
I think it was there last year.
Oh yeah, it was there last year. And I'll show what it did here.
Darkness, you will find me.
And then they had a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern guy that lit up and made all sorts of spooky sounds. And then was there another animatronic I'm missing?
There's the witch broom.
The witch broom that
kind
of floats around.
Like a broom, yeah.
And I think it, like the witch, there's like a witch laughing while it floats around.
I think they had that last year.
Yeah, they have it every year.
But it looked a little bit different this year, maybe. I don't know.
I think it had like a scarf on it this year or something. And then, oh my gosh, I know I'm missing so much. I'm just going to keep showing everything I saw because it was magical. It was spooky. It was all things Halloween. They had like a little bat stuffed animal. They had a cat stuffed animal with a witch hat on. And do they have anything? I know I'm missing. They had some cups. They had a Hello Kitty Halloween cup. And then a witch's brew cup, I think it said. And then maybe a skull cup. Like a bunch of little tumbler cups.
Did you get the skull with the salt and pepper shakers in the eyes?
Yes. Oh, and yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Good one. They had a skull. And in the eyes, they had salt and pepper shakers in the eyes. Like you take the salt and pepper shakers out of the eyes. I thought that was pretty cool. They also had a skull mug. They had a couple of towels, like dish towels. And it was all kind of like, oh wait, and they had ghosty mug that was holding a little jack-o'-lantern, but it was all kind of sprawled out. Like, it wasn't all organized where all the mugs were together or where everything, it was just all kind of randomly sprinkled in, which actually made it more Halloween-y to me. It looked really cool. Like, it looked more of like a house, like it was decorated than it was like a display or like you're at a store, you know? It was really cool. But they had some towels. They had a blanket with skeletons on it. I think did it glow in the dark?
What's that?
I think it did glow in the dark, the blanket.
Yeah.
And then they also had some clothes and some earrings and jewelry. They had some really cute bedazzled skeleton earrings and spider dangly earrings. There was a snake necklace that was really cool. There was a bracelet that had all sorts of different little Halloween charms hanging from it. So they did have some really cute jewelry. And they also had some baby clothes. They had a cute little sweatpants, sweatshirt little outfit, and something that said, it was like a hat and sock set that said, "I'm baddie for daddy." And then what else do they have? Some girly little tutu looking Halloween outfits, pink and orange and all the cute little just cutesy outfits. They also had some like adult t-shirts. They had Scooby-Doo. I think they also had a Scooby-Doo plush. They also had a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown t-shirt. So they did have some spooky shirts this year. And yeah, all the gloriousness, all the spookiness. It was so good. Hold on. Oh, look at you. We're off. Hey everyone, it is another day Halloween decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. We are back on the hunt. We're cruising. All right, so we're cruising first. Well, the whole reason I wanted to get out and cruise around to begin with was to go to Michael's. So that's the plan today, but I figured while we're out, we might as well wait. Hold on, Mr. Skeleton. Railroad tracks, sir. So anyways, while we're out, I figured we might as well stop at Gnome, you know, at Gnome or at home. But they have all the gnomes, which I forgot to talk about the other day. They had a bunch, well, not a bunch. They had 2 Halloween gnomes. Naturally, I didn't talk about them and totally forgot about them because my brain wasn't even thinking about them. But at Gnome had the Halloween gnomes. So we're going to go see those again today. But we're also going to see what else they put out, because I don't want to miss one single individual Halloween decoration at Gnome this year. So we're going to go check it out before we go to Michael's. I don't know if Michael's has anything out yet, so we're going to go check my Michael's. But so far, I've seen some sneak peeks of what's being put out first. And it's like a groovy Halloween vibe with flowers and, again, more disco balls. I don't know what's going on with the disco balls, but I saw some disco balls in this line so far. It's not exactly my taste, but I always have to have a but, like a silver lining, because I'm just that kind of ghoul. I gotta find all of the good in all of the Halloween things, because you know us. I can't say anything negative about Halloween. It's just too good. And I feel like beggars can't be choosers when it comes to Halloween. So we're going to go see it in the flesh so you can see all of it if you haven't seen it yet. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's there. It may not even be there, but so far, that's what I've seen. And I also saw online, they released a couple of things online, and I am so excited about their other Halloween lines they're putting out this year. So I'm not even mad that they put out this whole psychedelic flower power or flower child or whatever line, because I'm just excited about the freaking Dracula situations they've got going on this year that I saw online. They've got some Dracula pieces, some bat pieces I'm excited about. So I'm not even mad about this flower power situation. Anyways, right now we're headed to At Home, and I'm not gonna lie, I am dragging ass today. I didn't even put my lips on today. I'm just wearing my good old Halloween comfy shirt and my spandex, what are these? Like my spandex biker short situations. And I mean, that's pretty much my summer uniform anyway, but I didn't even feel like getting any sort of fancy. I did wear a hat today. I guess that's fancy-ish. mainly to hide my roots that I really need to do. And also, I guess I just like hanging out in the shadows, so that's like a permanent shadow. But it's not even that hot today, so it's not the heat. It's 82 right now, which isn't that bad, all things considered. This whole video I've been filming, it's been like 100 million degrees out. So today we're not even going to see Miserable Marie or Moaning Myrtle or whatever, because I have nothing really to complain about with the weather. It feels like a freaking nice, cool breeze, like a nice fall day compared to 118. Oh, Lord, I hope they have some new Halloween stuff. I wasn't going to go out today, but I got the itch, y'all. It happens every day. I'm like, I'm not going out today. I'm going to edit today. I'm like, nope, got the itch. I got to go on the hunt. Got to see what they got. See if anyone has, and I'm just going to a couple places today. Just hitting a couple spots. But I just get that Halloween itch. Does anyone else get it? It's like that Halloween hunting itch. You're like, oh man, I really want to go on the hunt. It doesn't look like anyone is here today, which is surprising because Fridays are usually busy everywhere. And it's really not that. I mean, it's just as busy as always. All right, the real question is, where are we parking, y'all? I'm so freaking excited we went out today, y'all. I'm so happy we did this. There were some things that I wanted on my, what would you call it, wish list. My Halloween wish list. Let me just first say, all the stuff they put out the other day, the whole display was slim pickings. So much had been picked over already and bought up. I couldn't believe it. But then other things had been put out. For example, they had the vultures out again this year. Those are so beautiful. I leave my vultures out all year round. But they had the vultures. The ravens on the pedestals were all sold out. But they did have these huge ravens I was looking for. They were on my wish list this year. And I can't believe they only had 2 left. So I was looking for 2 because usually I use 1 on either side of my mantle. Those are all year round decors for me as well. Or I can just sprinkle them throughout the house or put them on top of my cabinets. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I really, really wanted those ravens for all year round decor. And they had them, or crows or whatever. They have their mouths open, or beaks, I mean. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But anyways, I really, really wanted these. And I had them in my cart, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, where'd you find those? And I was like, I'm sorry, I think I took the last ones. But I was like, but keep checking because they restock, which is the truth. Because I gave up on the ravens last year. I did give up, but I happened to be at home, or maybe I checked online. I can't remember what it was, but I found them way, way late in the game. I think I saw them online. Way late in the game. Like they were putting Christmas out. And they were getting the ravens in with Christmas trees. So if you're still looking for some of the big pieces, sometimes they'll ship them in with some of the Christmas stuff. So they had these big crows. I was so excited to find them. Another thing that was on my wish list was this bust. It's like a zombie lady bust. And like half of her face looks like it's eaten off. Or, you know, just casually the skin rotted off. But that's what it looks like, and it lights up. And the hearse pillow. There's a pillow that looks like a hearse. I saw this over on the Facebook group. But there's a pillow that looks like a hearse, and it's beaded. I love that once again for all year round. Wait, I want to go one more. They had a cat coming out of a pumpkin. That was new. And this cauldron that lit up. They also had this like headless skeleton gentleman statue thing. They had a really cool pumpkin that is like a little mini pumpkin that had skulls around the top, a little gargoyle. They had, which I feel like they have the gargoyles every year. I have yet to see the huge gargoyles. I haven't seen them yet. Had, oh, another pillow. They had a skeleton pillow. They had little skeletons all over it. They had a bunch of skull stuff. They had a huge skull with light up red eyes. They had a huge black skull. They had, was there another skull that I'm not remembering? They had a bunch of skulls. Oh, no, a skeleton guy. It was like a big skeleton guy. And it was like half of his body. Like it just his torso. And they had, what else? Oh, a big white jack-o'-lantern. And they had this big metal thing. Like outdoor decor piece maybe. With these witches standing over a cauldron. Or just like some like landscape situation. It was really cool. And what else do they have? I don't know, but people are buying stuff up quick this year. People are not messing around. And yeah, there were people shopping while I was there, looking at stuff, buying stuff. So yeah, get your at home while you can, because yeah, people are buying it up this year. And is that it? Is that all? I mean, anything else I'm missing, I'll show here. Anything that I'm forgetting. But they had just put out a couple of new pieces. It's all kind of spread out right now, because I think some of the stuff they had already put out, people bought up, and they're putting new stuff out in the meantime. But yeah, and I used my gift card that At Home had sent. So thank you again, At Home. I made some purchases. I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a haul. I can't wait to show y'all what I got. And now we're pulling up to freaking Michael's. We're having a good day so far. I'm hoping this could, actually this whole week has been a really good Halloween hunting week, I feel like. Anyways, go on, Mr. Skeleton. We're at Michael's. We're going in. We saw the spooky goods at Michael's. This week has been, after weeks of seeing nothing, this week has been so good. It's making my soul so happy. They're just starting to put it out, and they had all their boxes out. He was unboxing it and putting together the whole display and all the things. They had some Spooky Town out. They had, one of them was really cool. I don't know. Dallas and I have to decide which one we're getting. If we're getting another spooky house. The spooky house this year was really cool. It had like a ghosty in the window and a witch in the window. I feel like that might be the one we get. But then there was also this one that was like this big skull with like, it was like a roller coaster kind of situation. I love a good roller coaster Limax situation, like spooky roller coaster thing or spooky amusement park thing, you know. So that might be, I don't know. I got the pamphlet. Look at this, y'all. I got the Michael's 2024 Limax Spooky Town pamphlet. That's how serious we are about this, everybody. Anyways, what else did we see? We saw, oh, they had a couple more Spooky Town big pieces. They had another skull piece, I think it was. Then some like ghostly looking thing. I don't remember, but there were a couple big ones in there. I'll show the visuals. And then they had some smaller things, like a little Venus flytrap guy thing. And then a skeleton guy. And yeah, they had a bunch of the little ones, like the little tombstones. They had multiple different tombstones. You can't really see the visual. They're horrible visuals, I'm not gonna lie. Because the plastic, it reflects the light so bad that I'm sure you could hardly see anything. But they had a bunch of the little things. They had some cute ones. It looked like they were gonna get more out. So I did get some visuals of the tombstones and pumpkins and stuff like that. And I think of like a couple of the critters or whatever, but that was it. And but it looks like they're getting ready to put it together. I cannot wait to see it in the flesh, all lit up and functioning. And then they had the whole, they're calling it the Hippie Hollow line. So they had the full-blown Hippie, well, not the full-blown. They had some of the Hippie Hollow line out. And you know how I talked mad crap on it just like 5 seconds ago? I was like, oh my gosh, this, I just don't know. It's colorful and it's got flowers and it's, well, you know how I just went on a whole, you know, spiel about it. I was being just like a total fart head about it. Okay, did I buy stuff still from the Hippie Hollow line? Yes. Yes, I did. I bought stuff from it. I actually really liked it in person as like a separate, like some of the individual things in the Hippie Hollow line I really liked, especially the velvet stuff. I'll start there. They had some really cool, and I'm a sucker for the velvet stuff. Joann's did velvet last year. Michael's is doing velvet this year, and I love it. They had velvet skulls. They had velvet jack-o'-lanterns. They had velvet tombstones. There's various things. They were like an orange, a fuchsia, and a light pink. And those were the 3 colors. And then they had various, like they had a lot of the same kind of things, like the jack-o'-lanterns and the skulls and all that kind of stuff. And then they had tombstones with different sayings. So the orange one said, "See you soon." I can't remember what the fuchsia one said. And then the light pink one said "R.I.P." with a bat. I wish that one was orange because I have nothing pink anywhere in my house, so I didn't get it. But I liked the look of it, so I wish it was black or gray. Maybe they will have one in one of the other lines. or orange. Those are the colors I wish, because the see you soon, I don't know. I wasn't totally sold on that saying. But I really liked the orange color. The orange color they chose for this line is so good. And then they definitely had some things in this line that screamed hippie hollow. For example, they had some signs that said stay groovy, stay weird, and they had like a floral psychedelic kind of print on it. And then they had like a coffin, I think, that had the floral print on it. Very flower child, flower power kind of vibes. And they had disco balls. And I thought I thought the disco balls were going to be random, kind of like the ones at Joann's in that witchy line where it was just random disco balls. But this actually was like disco ball pumpkins and a disco ball skull, which I feel like, and there was also another piece that said spooky and had little disco balls dangling. Oh wait, that sounded bad. Just disco balls dangling, y'all. That's the story of our lives, Mr. Skeleton. Just disco balls a-dangling. Oh, Lord. Anyways, though, at least the disco balls in this line had a spooky theme. Like, it was a skull or a pumpkin or, you know, just some good old disco balls dangling. Anyways, what else did they have? They also had some little ghosties that were little pink, and maybe one was orange. Little iridescent-looking sheet ghosts. They had, what else did they have in this area? They had some pillows. They had another floral print vibe. It's like a floral print pillow with a bat on it. They had an orange pillow with fluffy spiders on it and a spider web design. And then they had, what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was, but they had pillows that went with the whole color scheme, the pink, the orange, floral, all that kind of stuff. They also had a coffin-shaped chalkboard. They had one of those poof wreaths, you know, with the poofs on it, and it had bats on it. They also had some, what else do they have? They had, some wall decor. One had skulls, pink skulls on it. And then, I can't remember what the other one was. I think they did another wall decor piece here. They also had a bunch of skeletons doing various things. They had some dangly leg skeletons with babies. Just skeletons with skeleton babies. I don't know. Y'all, this is weird. I kind of loved it because this whole line was just totally unexpected, okay? And I love it. I love a good surprise around Halloween. I love a good trick and a good treat, y'all. So anyways, they also had skeletons on toilets again this year. And they were in the same color scheme, pink and orange and white. And they had skeletons in bathtubs. They had a couple of skeletons in bathtubs. Again, I think they had a pink one and an orange one. And they had skulls that were ombre. And I think they also had ombre pumpkins, like pink and orange ombre pumpkins. And other skeleton things, doing skeleton things. And they also had some really cute pillows that they were just putting out. They had this skeleton pillow that was really cute, that had like all the dangly arms and legs. And they also had an eyeball pillow. They had an orange pillow with bats. And they had, what was the other pillow? Dang it. Oh, it was a candy corn with a face on it. What else did they have? Oh, they had a bunch of garlands, spooky Halloween garlands, some with ghosties, some with gnomes. There was a gnome one in there. Poof ones. They had little banner looking ones. They had all sorts of spooky, cute garlands, and they had different color schemes. They did have black and gray and whites. They had different color schemes, but they also had the ones that match the hippie hollow. And then anything I'm missing, I'll show here. They didn't have everything out. They had a lot of empty shelves. Next week, I feel like it's going to be such a good week of Halloween decor hunting, so you don't want to miss it. I want to cruise back to Joann's. I also want to go back to Michael's, see what else they put out. See if they put out Spooky Town. We might go, I'm talking so fast. I'm thinking fast, talking fast. I'm excited. It's Halloween time, y'all. I want to go to some other Michael's in the area and see what they have out. I want to start stocking Home Goods. I don't think Home Goods is going to get their stuff out until after 4th of July. But why not stock them a week early? And then I want to check, did I say at home? I want to check, I don't know, we're going to go everywhere. The only places I'm not going to check yet are the places that have back to school. Target, Walmart, although Target might start getting their kids' clothes out, so I guess we should start checking. But usually any of the places that have to have full aisles of back to school, they wait until after back to school is cleared out, or at least somewhat empty, to get their Halloween, because they only have so much space for Halloween, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know. Every year is different. We might have to start checking, but I don't anticipate, although Target should be starting to get their pre-orders and all their Halloween stuff online, like their hide and eat boutique stuff. That should be any time. I'm anticipating, usually it's mid-August, but I really think this year it's going to be early. So I'm stocking Target's website, but not the stores yet, because they still got to get back to school. They got to clearance all their summer stuff out, all that stuff. So anyways, their kids' clothes though may start soon. Also want to go to Burlington, although I don't think Burlington's going to get stuff out yet, but it could be any time. I get so excited because they put a Burlington close to me, so now I don't have to drive all the way across town to go to Burlington. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. We're all excited. It's time. 'Tis the season, y'all. It's time. Anyways, that is it for a full week of Halloween decor hunting. We saw Halloween finally. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out here on the hunt with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say hey ghoul hey down in the comments, because you know I love talking to you. And let me know some of your favorite things, whether you saw it in this video or you're seeing it out in the flesh, what you're liking out there, what lines you're liking, or what items you're really loving, or what's on your wish list, like your must-have item this year. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, anyways, we got more Halloween decor hunting to come. I've got hauls coming up. We're in the season, y'all. It is the heat of the season, literally. Cue Moaning Myrtle. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.